rocking and rolling. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
Hey, what's up, Guan? Bump Jonas here at Emerald Dreams Lab, and I'm chilling with
Tyi'Shon C.
and we about to do Lab Legends, y'all. Let's get into it. All right, so let me just ask, I think what is my cliche question. Let me get that out the way. First of all, I appreciate you tapping in with us. Thank you for being here. No smoke in the air because we got a youngin' in the building, y'all. You know what it is. But look, who is Tyi'Shon C? What do you do and why?
I am a 13-year-old poet, and I work on 2 nonprofits, but I'm just an everyday person, to be honest. Who am I? I'm a lot of things. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an artist. And why do I write? I wrote to get a lot of thoughts off my mind so it wouldn't stay there and build up. When I realized that my words was helping other people understand, I did it to, tell people it's okay to feel like this. It's okay to do this. And I also write because God told me, this is the right path and this is what you helping people through your word.
I like that. Let's throw a little salt out there for her. I like that. Or some snaps, though, because she was very, I'm a poet. Because the emphasis and enunciation, those are powerful tools in the poet's arsenal, and you're already displaying that at 13, mind y'all. All right, so 12 years old, you're writing this preteen shit.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about that a little bit. When it's all said and done, you have a collection of pieces that you put together that you are using to express, and that becomes this preteen shit. So
Yes.
what are those pieces about? What led up to that, and what makes it so significant that you had to be like this preteen shit?
I was 12, and I feel like as a 12-year-old, it was just so much life happening. And I mean in the sense of I lost my mom and my brother when I was young. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand. You young, you still got feelings. And it shouldn't be dismissed. So I wrote it down, and it came up to this preteen shit. Like, this is what I'm going through. This is how my 12-year-old mind is working at that time.
So now, were these pieces written all in that span of that 12-year-old, or that year of being 12, or how far back did they start?
I want to say 10. Yeah. I want to say 10 to 12.
Hold on. So I need y'all to take a moment here, and I'm not gonna go too long. But first of all, your author published at 12. You're now 13 years old, so a lot of things are happening very quickly. But this whole sequence starts at 10, where you're like, I'm gonna pick up the pen and I'm gonna write. So you were already capable at that age. We need to acknowledge that, because that's amazing. That's like stupid dope. All right. So okay, why then do you? Like, what's the impetus to be like, okay, I got these pieces, I'm going through this, I need to express this, but why do you need to give it to the world? What makes you want to say, I want to publish this?
Really, my dad. I wasn't going to publish them. It was just going to stay in my notebooks, but my dad was like, this is powerful, you need to share with the world. And for a long time, I was just like, it ain't that good. But he told me, he encouraged me, gave me confidence, and that's why I got published, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So it's like, Pop said, nah. I mean, sometimes you need that first cosign to be like, nah, this shit is fire. A little kick in the, okay, I fuck with that. Excuse my French. I apologize. All right, so let's talk through, or walk us through the process of writing the pieces that then became this preteen shit. Like, how did each piece get developed, or how were they created?
A lot of times I don't remember where I write stuff, but I know one of the poems in there, "A Black Girl Could Dream." I was sitting in ELA class, and we was learning about Malala. You know what that is?
No.
Malala. Yeah, she's from. I don't want to get a mess.
Yo, that's. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Please educate me.
She was either from Pakistan or one of those places where the Taliban was taking control. Yup. And she was on a bus one day, and the Taliban came and she got shot in the head.
Yo.
Yup. Because she was speaking her word, and she was speaking on about what the Taliban was doing in her country and all the havoc they was wreaking. So they came and retaliated. And I remember we was reading that in class. I'm just like, dang, her word was that powerful. They tried to kill her, but she survived.
Right.
Yup. And I remember I'm writing in my book, I'm like, a black girl could dream. And I just started going. I remember I was so proud. I showed my teacher. I went home. I showed my dad. Because at that time, I wasn't really showing people my poems, but I was like, this one hard.
So you knew at some point that your shit was dope anyway.
Yeah.
You already had that kernel of confidence.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Shout out to Pops for pulling it out of you. But you already had the vision in a way. You just needed to like get there.
Yeah.
All right, I fuck with that. I love the fact that you're allowing your voice to speak for others, but you're still telling your story. Now, one thing I want to ask about though, it seems that a lot of your work is or can be focused through the concept of pain. And so I want to ask you, just at this point you're 13, but at 12 when you're writing preteen shit, was this the only way for you to process your pain, or how else were you dealing with pain and turmoil?
I feel like that was the only healthy way I was processing the pain.
Shit, let's snap for that.
I feel like when I was 12, I was going through so much and so much feelings and so much, and I was angry for a lot of stuff that happened, and I wasn't accepting what happened. And I feel like that comes out in different ways, but writing was the only way. It was focused, and it was healthy, and it lets you breathe.
Just gonna let that breathe a moment. That was good. So, all right, I'm just gonna be direct. I have a sensitive question for you, right? And I want to be respectful. Disclaimer: this could be a trigger warning for folks. So, at some point leading up to, and what actually I need you to clarify for me. I don't necessarily need the sequence of events, but essentially you attempted to take your life.
Yes.
Okay. My question with that is, I want to kind of talk about that period of time and how where did that stem from? Because ultimately my question is, was that a result of what you had been through, or was it a result of dealing with the pressures of the book?
That's a good question.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like somewhat of what happened in the past, but also kind of feel like the pressure of the book didn't mess with my mental health. I feel like during that time I had the book and I was still sad and I was still going through a lot. But I feel like how I want to say it. I pushed all the emotions down so I could be okay. And I went through that period of time where I was supposed to grieve. And one day I remember it just exploded. It just like I couldn't. It just, that when the emotions, they can't get bottled up no more.
Right.
And just break free.
They're going to come out.
Yeah, and when you young, you don't know how to like cope. You don't know how to regulate. I feel like that was the only way I could numb, or I could just feel at ease, even though it wasn't the best solution, but
at that time it felt like the right
sense.
Yeah, exactly, from your words, from the mouth of babes. Because I'm being funny to kind of segue out of that, because that was a dark moment for you, but I also want to basically like commend you and give you your accolades. One, for being vulnerable. Two, for dealing with it, right? And that seems kind of, I don't mean to be dismissive about that, right? But more importantly, just being able to navigate it and essentially bounce back. And that's my next question is, how have you bounced back from that? It's been roughly a year since.
Yep.
What's been the process, and how have you bounced back from that incident and from the release of the book?
Therapy. A lot of people don't believe in therapy. A lot of people, therapy helps. It helps to talk and to learn yourself in new ways and unlock things, because in your mind you would trap something off and you would never think about it again. And you would never realize how that shaped you. Therapy and taking time just to breathe and just to do things that bring you peace. I feel like that kind of just helped me bounce back. In family and your relationship with God. I feel like in that time, my relationship with God was very here and there. I kind of only spoke to him when I needed something. I didn't speak to him because he was there for me when I had everything I needed, So I feel like God and just taking time. You're not gonna heal overnight, and everything is a process. You know, you still got your days, but learning who you are and what you need also helped.
How do you, at the I want to acknowledge what you said, but something really keeps sticking out to me. There's two things. One, you talk about breathing, and that leads into you mentioned time, taking time, and so I'm curious. This is a tangent question. I didn't have this written down, but at the age of 13, how do you know so much about patience and taking time and taking a moment to breathe?
The people, my grandma, she had a lot of patience. My dad, he instilled that in us. Just take time, cause nothing gonna happen overnight. You gonna fail 101 times. Take time to. You're never gonna get something right, but take time so you can understand, to see where you went wrong, and to see how this gonna help. I feel like time kind of just it heals it. Time is forever.
I love that. Take time. I can't sing, but that's a good song. All right, so I want to talk about where we are now. You're 13 years old. Are we when we were talking, so is there something new coming, or what are we still working on I guess a tour of this preteen shit, or is there something else that we should be looking
I have
for?
a new book coming out November 10th.
Oh shit, that's pretty soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, November 10th. What's significant about that date, or
That's
why is that the date?
That's the day I tried to commit suicide.
Oh, okay. So we are coming up on a year from that anniversary.
Yes.
All right. Well, I mean, thank you.
Thank
Congratulations. I don't know the right thing to say. I'm just glad you're here.
Thank you.
Okay, so you have a new book, a new release, a new collection coming out November 10th. Is this a recounting, or is it a release of that period, or is it something else? Are we going in a whole new direction?
It is a collection of when I was in that time, of my state of mind.
Okay.
My book is basically awareness of mental health and mental health in young kids. Because I'm young, you know. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that kids go through stuff. And my book is really just talking about what I went through and what kids my age feel like when we feel like we can't take or we can't release it. Yeah.
Wow. It's hard for me to believe that she's so young. That's why I'm just like stuck or struck. So let me throw you a couple left ball questions, right? Left field questions. If you couldn't use a phone to write, what would you use?
My notebook. I really don't use my phone to write. The only time I really use my phone to write is if I'm in a place where I can't get to my notebook or something. But I like writing everything down.
Okay, so you're a pen and paper kind of guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I get a little excited about that because I don't have nothing against technology. I just like the old school vibe. It's a different, it's like being in the analog instead of digital. You know. So, what's the toughest piece you've had to write so far out of all your pieces and collections?
Toughest piece. The cover of my new book, it's a paper. And on that paper is that night after I almost committed suicide, I wrote down everything. And I feel like that was the toughest thing I had to do, was write down how I felt and why I feel like this and what was happening. I feel like that was probably the hardest piece. Yeah.
Just getting all of that out.
Yeah.
Trying to like coalesce that or focus it on it. Wow, okay. You are an interesting and unique individual. We're all unique in our own way, right? We're all special snowflakes, but I'm just saying, you're a dope motherfucker. You're a dope motherfucker. All right. So how do you handle writer's block?
I feel
She smiled at that one. Okay.
writer's block, I feel like I write something and if I can't figure it out, I kind of let it sit. You come back, jump into it, or you throw something new out. You know, writer's block, it happens. Sometimes you kind of just got to let it happen. Because when you get over it, new stuff flow out.
Okay. It almost sounds like you look forward to it so you can get to the other side of it and be like, all right, what am I going to create after that shit? Okay. I love your approach. All right, so this is kind of two-parter question, and I appreciate your time with me. You've been published at 12 and at 13. You're at this point, it's easy to say you're accomplished. So, really, okay, what keeps you writing, and then how do you stay interested? How do you stay like active after you've been able to like have accolades and accomplishments already at a young age?
I feel like when I let people read my book and I see how excited they get and they tell me how much it helped them, I feel like that really just keep me like writing because I see how it's touching people. I really think that's why I keep going. And I forgot what you said. What was the other question?
Well, it's just what keeps you interested.
Oh, the people, really. The people. And when you write, you learn new stuff about yourself and you learn new things. You learn new stuff about yourself every day. Yeah. So I
like
just keep
that.
writing to understand who I am.
So writing is like not only is it your voice, your vehicle, it's your therapy, but it almost seems like a companion to you as well.
Yes.
Okay. I want a tangent. I got just a couple more questions, but I can't not ask this question because I've interviewed your brother. I've had a quick moment to speak with your father. You come from a writer's family,
Yes.
so I just want to ask, like, like, first of all, is there any pressure to be not only to be a writer but to be a good writer?
No. Because I feel like they don't try to put no pressure on me. They just kind of tell me, do you, bug. Like, just do you. Whatever you do is going to be good. We're going to support you either way. So they don't kind of just try to, like, tell me, you got to do it like this, do it like that. Nah, they kind of let me just be who I am and,
Just do you.
yeah, do me.
All right, I fuck with it. All right, so with that though, I mean, you got some heavy hitters in your family. Like they nice with the pen. So my question there is, is there any kind of initiation or rite of passage that you got to go through to be, considered a peer or like, oh, you a writer now?
My dad gave me the rite of passage. He make us write in our notebook for a very long time before he make us write note and pad before we even switch to digital. He feel like that come first.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of rite of passage.
Okay. So he really put y'all in the trenches. You got to grind your way out of the paper to the phone or to the digital. I fuck with that. Shout out to Dad. Like, I don't know why in my head all of a sudden I see this like mix of Will Smith and the dad from the Tennis Sisters. You know what I mean? A little bit of push there, but I like it. It's a good thing. All right. So, what's your favorite word to use?
Favorite word? I say like a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair word. That's a fair word. What's your most difficult word? Like the words you hate using that you can't make it fit with nothing else?
Fit with something else. The word distinguish. I kind of just, sometimes when I be trying to sit there and put in something, I got to kind of like rewrite the whole thing so it can fit right there.
Right where it is. Right there. All right. So I appreciate you so much for your time and just your vulnerability. Well, I appreciate for everything that you do, the energy and what you put out, the lessons that you're giving to all of us, not just the youth, but us adults and older folks, mature. My one question I like to ask everybody is, when it's all said and done, when they've closed the page on the book or both books, what's the message? What do you want them to walk away with?
It's okay to be who you are. It's okay to be okay in your skin. It's okay to be you. It's okay to not worry about what everybody else is thinking about who you are. It's okay to be you. I feel like that's why I want a lot of people to understand. A lot of people don't realize it's okay to be who you are. Because you're going to be you at the end of the day. The more you try to shape yourself for outside peoples, the more you're going to hurt yourself in the end.
Can't escape it.
Yeah, so I feel like I just want people to be who they are, and it's okay to be who you are, and it's okay. That's really the message I try to send.
Hey, I love it. Hey, there's nothing more for me to add, so I'm just going to sprinkle some salt on that. With that, It's been a hell of a pleasure. It's been an honor and a pleasure. I'm Bump Jonas. I just had a dope ass conversation with
TyShion.
y'all. Need to go check out. Now, what's the name of the book? No, never mind. 11/10/23, right?
Yes.
So on 11/10/23.
22.
Ooh, thank you.
Yes.
So it's called 11/10/22.
Yes.
Coming out 11/10/23.
Yes.
Yes. All right. See the number. Don't let the numbers confuse you. Let's not.
Yeah.
But all right. So where can they find it? How can they find it? We know when you can find it, but where can they go?
Everywhere. You can look me up. I'm on all platforms, all book sites. I'm there.
And what's the name of your page? Or
Blessing That Prosper Publishing. That's where y'all can find a lot of our media content, and when we're doing shows and stuff, that's where y'all can find us.
shows. Y'all okay? We're gonna say that for another combo. I like that. Shows. They out here, y'all. We're gonna take the words on the road. All right. So hey, it's been a hell of a conversation. I appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you so much for your time. An honor and a pleasure. With that, we out of here. Y'all have a good one. Peace.